It's gonna be May.
Oh,
No.
the energy.
I mean, it might be.
Eventually, one day it will be.
It's probably gonna be Sticky Greg. Welcome back to RPG Pals Club. I'm Gina Dazer, they, them. I will be your games coordinator today for the collection, part 2, part 3. I think that's the phrase. What was the other way around?
No, this is part 3 of the collection, part 2.
Part 3 of part 2. Okay, excellent. And with us today, we have some delightful characters. If you'd like to introduce yourself, starting with...
Oh yeah, I am at the top of the sheets. Hi, I'm Luke, he, him, sometimes they, them, and I'm going to be playing Irving, Biscoff, who you might also know as pulp writer T.W. Thimbleton. Right now, I have been turned into a fashion doll.
Fashy Pawn.
I am also examining body horror and the ideas of modular body parts. Up next.
Me? Is it Sam, who uses they, them pronouns and is playing as Dust Tumblepod, a scrapyard owner who has been turned into a transforming vehicleman.
A tow truck.
Yes, a transforming tow truck vehicleman. As if a robot was in disguise.
But it's not. It's a truck.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious about being a truck.
Yeah, we all agree.
Do you make, or does your character make any sort of noise when they transform, like...
Well, considering that it's plastic, it just kind of, it's clicks and tabs and pegs sliding in and out of holes.
You can dream, my friend. This is a world of fantasy. What fantasy sounds?
I dreamed of clicks and tabs and little pokey pegs going into slots.
Then please ASMR that sound for me, my friend.
We'll play that in game.
Yep, I'll totally remember to add it in later because I'm Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard, the guy who's been editing all of these episodes, pretty much every one of these episodes.
Yay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jack McHarden, a hardened war veteran who actually turned into a G.I. Joe, IRL. OMG.
Last but not least, our tastiest friend.
Hello, it is me, Madison, she, her, playing Dr. Birdie, who has gone from just being a regular old plague doctor looking fella and has become a creature creator, easy bake oven thing.
Creature creators.
Oh yeah, that was totally advertised all the time in the 90s during Saturday morning cartoons, which always existed in the 90s.
Yes.
Dr. Mesothelioma's chemical spill lab.
Oh no!
All of those old-timey fucking, like, science things where it's like, fun for the whole family, includes asbestos.
Yeah, it's got an actual UV light. It runs everything.
Yeah, it's got, like, actual radioactive elements,
Yeah. Here's some whole sodium.
Hey, you want to play with some mercury, kids? Get it all over you.
Put this on your hands.
It's lava.
Go ahead and get this set wet. Just pour some water on it. See what happens.
Just drink it. It's fine.
We don't know.
Put it in your mouth.
Make this tasty treat at home for you and your friends. It's wet cement.
Can you drink it before it sets, kids? Go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
Find out what it's like to shit bricks. Gotcha.
first laugh was because you said shit bricks, and then the second bark was because my brain filled in what actually would happen, and then pictured somebody like pooping a whole brick.
Okay, I was worried that you
coming out like a Pez dispenser.
I was worried that you just imagined their like organs hardening, and that was what made you laugh. But no, it's the comedic image.
It's still the toys one. It's still like them bending over and like Pez out of their We should start the game.
We should start shitting Pez.
No. Last time.
That could be a different toy, like the fucking the babies that you feed and then that you like put them on the little toilet. And they
I had one of those. It was so gross.
yeah.
It was just mush on both ends. So last time on the collection part two, we discovered an ancient figure and the consequences of messing with said figure without proper tongs, leading them to discover that they were the target of Stinky Greg's collection, turning them into toys of various unbranded descriptions. They were trapped inside a display box, but luckily, one of them was very focused and strong, made their way out of the plexiglass front to expose a room full of these boxes. Big tables with train sets. Maybe there's like a jacuzzi off in the corner and a big desk and like one of those like dramatic like 3-arch windows. Storm outside.
My God.
And they last time they climbed out of that box onto the windowsill, and one of them, Dr. Birdie, investigatory scientist galore, decided to have a little sample of one of the leaves that was lining the shelves. But the leaves would have a sample of Dr. Birdie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, that's what happened.
So
Yeah,
I think I still got my sword. So I'm going to get to hacking this plant.
Yeah.
He'll take his sword, and then he's going to totally take the D20 he had all along, and then he's going to roll the D20 and roll a 15. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, what would this fall under?
I think it's like quick action.
Okay.
So
would it be heart, mind, strength, or ingenuity for those of you at home? Because those are the 4 skills we have, and that determines if we roll only once or if we roll twice and take the latter better one.
Also, strength is supposed to be body. I messed that up earlier.
Oops. Make a body.
Do a body roll.
Make sure you don't hurt nobody.
All right. Well, I rolled a 15. My 15 was my higher one. So
Excellent. Well, that's a double success.
Woo.
How do you free Dr. Birdie from these terrible vines?
I think I am going to just take my sword and slash through his. No, actually, I am going to get one of my non-trapped compatriots to help me, and then just tell him to jam on like my flicky peg as fast as possible, and then we all hack through the vines to set them free.
You know, Irv Biscoff is always happy to help out with some pegging.
That's good.
I'm sort of picturing like just plowing through that. Like when dudes are making mochi. And
You
so
want
like
us to plow through the pegging?
yeah, I'm plowing through the pegging.
I don't.
With Dust and Irv just like alternating on the peg.
Yeah, one's flipping it over and one's doing the pounding.
Yeah. But just we're going to go right. We're just going to plow right past that.
Yeah, I just work on giving it to him from behind. So would you like me to take a roll?
It works. You do it. All the leaves go away. You're fine. But Dr. Birdie, you do have you get a couple more prime samples of those instinctively entrapping vines.
I do believe that throughout this whole incident, Dr. Birdie had no idea what was going on. Was not even in the know that they were being trapped by vines. It was just like, oh yes, new samples, excellent, and just starts picking up like the finest cuts.
Yeah.
Shoving them in their chest cavity now.
I don't know. You also still have your bags.
This is true, but
yeah. Imagine the chest cavity is more like a microwave or a little oven.
Not true. It does have like a heating element inside of there, so maybe not entirely useful for storage. Okay, these go in the bag. These go in the bag, but I am currently cooking up some fun stuff in my chest, I guess, for later.
Actually, why don't you give me one roll,
Single,
and I will write it down, and I'll tell you what it means later.
Okay, so that is a 9.
Oof, that's fine. That's good. I mean, oof, what a good roll.
Ooh, what a roll.
You all stand next to this newly trimmed. It suddenly went from like big leafy vines to little topiaries. Yes, and you're on the shelf in Stinky Greg's lair. What would you do? Where do you go? Who do you see?
Is there some sort of us-sized manor house that is within this room?
Yeah. On the table before you, it's a train set with a mountain, and you look, and it's got the like big castle on like a hill that's made up of like painted cardboard, and the lightning flashes outside, but it's behind the castle, so it looks like it's flashing on the castle.
It's like LED lights just kind of on like a loop to flash ever so often.
Yeah, he might have fake window LEDs. It's actually sunny outside.
Yeah.
Stinky Greg.
Stinky Greg. I'm going for Greg's castle.
He was always about the aesthetics of things.
Which I can respect until it turns to betrayal, which is a tired trope.
Yeah, so you're gonna bust up the castle, or
If you were to store an actual magical object that might cure our predicament, I think that it might be within said castle.
So you're currently on a shelf a few feet away from the table.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like 4 feet up?
Mm-hmm.
Was it before?
Yes. So I have an idea, my good friend Dr. Birdie.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Your stomach is able to combine things and make new things, correct?
In a sense, yes.
So if you were to combine those vines with the dragon sack pistol, perhaps it would generate some varietal of plant dragon that we could use to move across the space of this room.
Potentially I could make something with the fuel of your pistol there and perhaps combine it with these ingredients I have here. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Ooh, and I pull off my right hand, and I feel like this might give me a better degree of control over it if there's a part of myself within there.
Within the pistol.
The combination that we are making, yes.
I suppose if you're willing to give up a hand for this, I'm not going to say no.
I always love to give a hand to your science.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
So you currently have something cooking in your chest.
I do have that. So this will be a bit more of a slightly more normal set of ingredients mixed together with
A more normal set of ingredients.
my potion making abilities, my skills.
Yeah. Why don't you give me 2 rolls? The power of friendship. You will have advantage.
All right, and I'm combining the pistol. These wonderful samples I have collected here.
Yeah, I think you might do it one ingredient at a time because it's not very convenient. Like you can't make more than one gummy at a time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, what would you like to combine first with the plants that are currently in your chest?
We should try my hand first to see if that actually works to give control.
I was thinking about that. Yes, I think above all, you having just an actual cannon for an arm would be very cool, personally.
It would. Some sort of organic commander.
Combining hand and pistol first.
Yes.
And
no, hand and plants, because the plants are in the slot in your chest.
yes, okay. So hand and plant.
Yes.
Combine those two, and with the power of friendship, Dr. Birdie rolls an 18.
Ooh. Okay. So that averages you at 13.5 right now. Would you like to take it out or continue to smoosh things around?
I trust in your power, Dr. Birdie. I trust in the power of our friendship.
And I trust in science.
Exclusively.
Only science, really. So I is this another two roll?
Yeah, because you're combining the gun. Do you have experience with, because you have alchemical potions and stuff?
Yes.
And the hand, I think, is close enough to some other things you might have done earlier. But the gun
is kind of where things change up. Because again, I will confess I'm not exactly a mechanic.
An artificer.
Well, no, it is a dragon. It is a organic part of the dragon fire sac that has been adapted into a gun. It's essentially like squeezing a spleen, except fire comes out.
It's a pre-constructed.
So this I do think I would at least have an advantage if I am only working with the dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon sack, the fire sack. But since it is part of a pistol, this might be a little difficult. But I'm not going to stop at this point.
Sure.
Science calls.
Why would you stop science when it's going so well?
It is.
Going fantastically. It's not going fantastically.
No? What happened? What happened?
So I rolled 2 things. I rolled a 9 and a 1.
So let's just take... That's still over a 10 on average.
Oh.
Yes. So, well, not a living graftable dragon gun or a dragon leaf monster. What comes out, it sort of like does the ding, and your chest cavity pops open, and it's like your gun, but somebody with pretty decent miniature painting skills,
Mm-hmm.
has like added a little bit of the green stuff and like painted green on the handle, and the bladder is now like, instead it was like the molten lava glowy, it's like plasma green glowy, and it has like leaves that sort of like rustle
Mhm.
before you pick it up,
Mhm.
like in the design of it.
I hand it over to him and I go, basically, I don't know what this does. Have fun.
I will. And I stick it back onto my arm stub.
Okay. Because of your wonderful hand success,
Hmm.
it does just sort of like you just put your stub out and the leaves sort of like wrap around your wrist
Mhm.
up your forearm,
Mhm.
and then you have this dragon bladder plant gun thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now let's see if I can use this to get it over, get us all over to the castle.
I think while this has been happening, while this
Yes.
process took place,
Yes, because it takes like a solid 10 minutes
Mhm.
every time.
yeah, like
It takes some time.
we had to warm up the light bulb in the
There's just a light
Of course,
bulb
yeah.
where your heart would be.
dust has secured in tow truck mode has secured the cable to the castle, and
Oh, the castle is on the table that you're trying to get to.
Across the room.
okay, no, it's across the room. Then is at least like done his best to extend it to the table, and I think maybe you come in on Dust convincing was it Jack McHarden? No, Jack
Jack.
McHarden. Just
Yeah.
not
You know,
Crack.
you can
What if it was
guarantee that you reach the table if you like
With the kit he uses.
with the plot point.
All right.
The plot point we have.
Yes, only one of you has spent the plot point so far.
And I spent mine very well.
Very early on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think as a plot point, I have a dangerously compressed spring mechanism that
You're one of the first editions before they got everything all the kinks worked out.
precisely, and I was able to wrap around the tow cable
Mhm.
winch onto that dangerously high pressure missile and have got it cinched up to the table.
Yes, excellent. I need to pause for a second because I need to go squirt the cat who's making the door bang.
so Bang Bang Boomerang is a lesser known hit by the Icelandic group ABBA. And it's not one of their best
They're from Iceland?
Scandinavia.
Oh, okay, I guess
Scandinavia is the name for the group of countries. Let me see.
they're from Sweden.
Yo, where is ABBA from? No, I didn't want to know where Adam is from. Where is ABBA from?
It's Sweden.
Stockholm, Sweden, yeah. Wait, where is ABBA in the Bible? Oh, because it means father.
Okay, you're doing great.
The Swedish Bible is very different.
Yep.
Hello, the Swedish people. I open up my Bible and then I go to the Klarna to pay for my IKEA.
Oh, fundamentally Christian us is just wild.
Did you say fundamentally Christian Oz?
Australia.
Okay. Ah.
I said us because we made a comment. Never mind. Have you forgot that we are a fundamentally Christian podcast again for the first time?
Don't forget, Jesus loves you as long as you fit into this very specific parameter, and like almost all of us do not qualify.
What I pictured was Jesus loves you as long as you can fit in these human shapes cut out of these giant pieces of foam that are coming at you like a game show.
Yeah.
This hole was made for me. Dur, dur, dur.
Jesus loves you as long as you can fit into his up and
Sumo suit.
stomach.
So we're
This hole was made for me. I'm going to put my stocking back and through it. I don't know where it's going. I just got very caught up in trying to impersonate Trixie Mattel's like Swedish accent.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an episode of their series where like she does a Swedish Cher impersonation.
Oh my god.
Hello, the Swedish people. Welcome to the concert. Shit cracks me up every time.
So you use your plot point, and you have secured like the super action spring loaded tow truck hook. You like beat back to the edge of the shelf, and just maybe you can like spring it off, and you'll have to swing it a bunch and might get hooked on the. No, it shoots like through a foam tree on the table and like solidly sinks into the wood
Of the table itself.
of the table itself.
Yeah.
Nice.
So once again, two people are off trying to solve the thing, and one person's like, "I just do it."
I'm just going to do it.
Yes.
And what's our buddy Jack doing?
He's climbing up with his grappling hook that he has.
Mm-hmm.
So you've descended down from the bookshelf and are making your way across the floor.
Yes.
Oh,
You-
Jack, always just
Split the party.
doing the most complicated way of handling things.
You and your plant
Yeah.
hand ready to
Let's
you
see.
moving or what?
Well, hold on, because one of you left the other three of you to climb down and cross the great expanse of the floor.
That's where those ducks are.
That's where the ducks are.
The what?
His show ducks.
He's going to become Quack McHarden.
I love your jokes. Bless your heart. So you make your way down, and you're about halfway across when you hear the and see the line of the tow truck across, Jack, as you look up 4 feet, 1 foot, 2, like 70 feet up, roughly, in toy height distance.
Okay.
And as you hear that thunk, excellent, my friends are gonna, and then you hear as something large is approaching you. Multiple things, possibly,
Holy.
with flappy feet. Approaching quickly. What do you do, Jack?
I ready my sword and try to reload my grappling. No, I reload my grappling hook.
Okay.
Try to fire it off again.
Yeah. You could have done that before you
Right.
went down. It's one of those fun things. So you ready your grappling hook, and the floor is shaking, and you see like bits of like dust and paperclip, like as these gigantic, huge to you birds. 3 of them come around the corner. Long necks that go stories up, sharp orange beaks, tiny little bonnets, ruffled vests, white feathers, distinguished, searching for intruders.
I would like to make a stealth roll. Like maybe there's some kind of table leg I can hide behind.
Don't forget, you also have your plot point. You can fuck these ducks up bad.
Right.
So you are in the middle of the floor. You are fully exposed, but there could be some detritus. Maybe like you could like figure out something in your bag. But why don't you tell me what you want to hide within or behind, and then give me a dice roll for ingenuity.
All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna see if they, like you said, maybe some like pieces of trash. Like maybe there's a cup or an extra container, or like a doorstop I can hide behind. I rolled a 19.
Woo! So you have plenty of time to figure out your course of action. You managed to find a secret, not secret. You see like a little like knot hole in the floor, and then you're like, hold on a second, and it's got tiny little hinges on it, because Stinky Greg is nothing if not meticulous about his miniatures, and he would not let any amount of floor space go, as he has built within the floor a rat guard style brambly hedge mouse guard like secret room that you could lift up that little knot hole for. You kind of like, you prop it open, you like, I can climb down there, but also if I press it, like if I jump really hard at the right time, this section of the floor will raise up to display the underground Brambly Hedge style house for his miniatures.
Okay. I think I'm going to jump.
Yeah. You wait until, do you want to have the ducks on it, or do you want to have them next to it when it goes off?
I think I am going to have that. Well, how big is it?
Oh, it'll pop up the like 2.5 feet.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I'm gonna time it so that like when they're like, it'll just gonna smack into them when I jump on that lever.
Okay, so you wait, and you're standing in the middle of the floor, and they're like, oh, perfect prey, and they all waddle for you, and they get closer together somehow and turn into like the Scooby-Doo like groups of people. It's got 3 heads, and you just look at them, and you just stomp your foot down, and there's a mechanism that you like popped a paperclip in before. The paperclip from before, Deus Ex. I have like Guggenheim's paperclip. That's not what it is.
Chekhov's paperclip.
Chekhov's paper. It was like Gundam paperclip. My brain is very sleepy, and there's a grinding of gears, and a solid 2-foot square right in front of you, like whooshes up, and there's a terrible squawking, and the rest of you see this as the bell goes ding in the belly, as these ducks are just flown up into the air, and they flap away, and they're spreading feathers everywhere, and one of them does a poo. It's a terrible scene, and one of their hats falls off and lands near their castle, and they scatter. They make a bunch of noise, though, and they flee the room, only as hurt as their pride will allow them.
And I think with that, where is the castle that Luke's character is going to?
So your friends are on the shelf with a tow truck with a line leaning across to the table, and you are like the animes when a city building like just flings up in front of them.
Right.
You can go into the Brambly Hedge display box and climb the ladders and spiral staircases and get up to where your friends are going to be.
Okay.
At the table.
All right. Yeah, I'll work my way there then.
Yeah. You grab some jam on the way. It's going to make... Your brilliant and amazing friend has made your tow truck success as well. There's only a short jump, and then it's 2 feet of floor with trapdoors in it, and then another short jump. And I think together, you all can get across to the table pretty well.
Oh, excellent.
You turn around with your green dragon vine bladder gun. And you're like, oh, a pathway. Are those ducks?
I would still like to know how well this gun works now.
You stand at the edge of a make-believe forest with a winding road that goes around rocks and through like resin waterways up to a massive castle.
Upon opening the door, Jack goes, "Wow, what a mansion!"
And there's a kind of noise.
Very dramatic.
You're in a great hallway of the mansion.
All right, my plan is still to start smashing this place. So if any of y'all want to do more delicate work, that clock's ticking.
So what is your goal in the mansion or in life?
Well, Irv said it is the most likely place for a magical, valuable key to our becoming big again to be stored. And Dust figures the fastest way to find that is to level the mansion.
Ah, okay. Yes, okay.
If one of you want to help me, I think I know of a way to make it go faster.
I mean, I have this arm. I want to see what this arm does, and I would be happy to do that.
And my and I haven't used my liquid courage yet.
Really quick, as we're all planning to sort of plan our way on how to destroy this entire build, a quick examination. Is this like a solid play place kind of situation?
Sure.
Or is this perhaps some sort of fantasy Lego construction?
Well, I thought it was made out of like cardboard. Like it's very much that 60s place design where it is made out of like harder cardboard with like paintings on it or printing stuff on it.
Well, the terrain was.
Mm-hmm.
The house is a horse of a different color.
Yes.
Yeah.
The horse is a house.
The house is a horse.
House horse.
Of course.
It's a Trojan house.
Of an unusual build and make.
It's a Trojan house where it's a horse on the outside. That's the only trick. No.
Horse on the outside, house on the inside. Family lives here.
Horse coating on the outside, house coating on the inside.
Yeah. They use the horse paint, turned into a horse. That is not true. It is a massive, like, dollhouse situation as you approached. A couple of wings, multiple stories, a big belfry in the front. Spooky.
So it's a Pegasus. It's a horse with wings.
So why don't you roll to do a snoop around the structural integrity of the house?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What would this be? Would this be?
I think you're trying to figure stuff out, so I think it's a mind.
I am. Okay, all right. So I have advantage on mind. So that is a 12 that I got. Birdie not rolling incredibly hot right now, but
I think
this is a house or a home.
As dust begins to like stomp through pieces of the floor, you realize that it's not like there's more underneath, and then there's wiring going through for the lights and stuff. And you realize that it's more than just a house because there aren't figures in here. There's furniture, there's paintings, there's like very miniature wainscoting, there's fake cobwebs and some real cobwebs. But yeah, there's something about this house that makes you think, I don't want to say it, but I gotta say it. It's more than meets the eye.
Well, I mean, if we're using it in solely, I mean, that's the only time we've used that phrase in that context. So
Yes.
It's not like, there's any special thing to it.
No.
It's not like we said this house is a real American hero.
Quick, look up the Birdie one. Like the future of girls. I'm not in PR. not be.
We're not made of potatoes anymore.
No, future of girls. It's future of girls. That was always the slogan and always will be.
Oh my god. Future of girls.
Fucking Lance Reddick introducing his horrible scientific experiment. The future
of girls.
It is connected in a way that is more than just a display house. Like there's more to this situation.
I see.
Meanwhile, Dust is like slam, running through walls, getting tangled up in curtains.
Tow cable dragging behind me.
Are you still a tow truck?
No, but
Okay.
it's still accessible. I figured,
Yeah.
it's over my shoulder
like,
or something.
Oh, I love the imagining like you transformed back, but the tow truck hook is still in the table.
Yeah.
Like a couple feet away, like in like a big space feet away. So like the more you go through the building, the more the cable winds through rooms.
At some point, you're just going to release the cable and it's going to go flying and destroy so much shit.
You try to go through the kitchen and you can't move any further because you're at the end of your line.
That's when you just activate the winch. And just start crunching the house using the tension.
Would you like to crunch the house?
I would like to crunch the house using the winch.
Give me a body check, and then I will ask Irv, Jack, and Dr. Birdie what you are all doing as your friend Dust runs through the house.
I got a 15.
Irv?
So we all went over with Dusk on the cord then
Yeah.
to get over here. Okay, I want to use the arm. Let me throw this imaginary arm out, this ingenious appendage.
Yes. What do you try to do? Do you aim it? Do you throw? Do you do a somersault? What is?
So I'm going to aim it out the window, like out one of these windows here, because if it ricochets, I don't necessarily want it to like come back and immediately hit us. And if it throws, I'm doing the safe.
Well, behind you, slightly out of focus, Dust runs through walls. Winch line behind them, knocking over tiny hutch cabinets full of tiny china.
It's fine. Smelly Greg or Stinky Greg's kids didn't want the china.
He has kids, excellent.
Very tiny children.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're destroying their inheritance. Good, fuck them. Sins of the father.
So, give me a mind roll because you're being very clinical about. You're being very like I have to do the safe thing.
All right. Nat 20, baby.
Oh my god.
We're gonna resolve that in just a second because I have an idea of what's happening. Because there's only one thing that I can. I'll explain. Jack.
Yes.
What are you up to in this situation? Like Irv is about to fire off their arm gun bladder.
Jack is dumping some of his liquid courage on the ground of the thing and is trying to like do a trail because he's planning on lighting it, on fire with a cigarette or some other cool method.
Sure.
Just set the whole thing ablaze.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what this is about to turn into. You are absolutely doing that. You don't even have to roll for that. I mean, that's an easy action. You've done it before.
Yeah.
Done it before, do it again. Dr. Birdie. So in the background of your shot, Irv is aiming out the window with their like slowly expanding and glowing and pulsing arm, hand, leaf, bladder, dragon thing. Dust is running back and forth and up the stairs and down the stairs. And Jack is just like dumping some special juice on the floor.
What is Dr. Birdie doing at this point in time while all of this chaos is going on behind them? Well, having sort of examined the place, the construction of this building, and noticing that there are indeed wires, presumably carrying some sort of power through this place, they are currently attempting to rip a lamp from the wall in order to better examine the wiring that is inside, and presumably either try to short this place out, activate the mechanics, or just set it on fire. One of the three.
Sure.
Whichever one comes easier. At this point, it's looking like fire.
Okay, so give me an ingenuity roll. Because I think you don't have much time with how effective your friends are being.
Yeah, this is true. I have only a few minutes, or maybe seconds at this point. I only have one ingenuity. Let's go. So that is a 13.
Okay, so it was short the place, activate it, or set it on fire.
Short the place.
Okay.
Activate it. Or fire. One
Actually,
of the three.
You know what? I think with the help of your friends, here's what happens.
Oh boy.
So there's a gurgling roar that begins in the bladder arm. I say bladder so many times. As one of you like runs around the room, Dust, you get to, and like you're running out towards the front door again, and you get to like just where your friends are standing before your wire tightens. And Jack, you dump out the last drop of your incredibly potent special juice. And Dr. Birdie, just by the front door, little doorknob thing, doorbell situation, you pry it off, and there's something you take your microwave and you open your panel and you just like push your chest against the door and press start, and sparks start to go off.
This is fine.
Yeah. And a floor where you had stomped down before sort of drops down trapdoor style, and all of you sort of fall into it. And as you do, you tighten your Dust tightens his tow truck thing, and there is a sickening crunch as the building sparks and begins to collapse in on itself. And Irv, this startles you enough where it fires off out of the window, this massive green blobby orb, and bounces out and splorts across the wall, but something flings off of that and ricochets in another direction, and everywhere it lands, there's this green splop that seems to not diminish in size, even though it's leaving these marks. And even as you're dropping back in like slow bullet time, you realize that this thing is picking up speed, is getting faster and faster, as if it was some sort of anti-gravitational green ooze, created specifically in this moment with no other brands or licensing associated with it.
So Disney, you better fucking back off. This is not the Shaggy Dog.
Shaggy Dog.
This ain't Herbie. The Apple Dumpling Gang ain't riding again.
As it begins to slam into things, and like a bunch of people riding ants escape, and you're like, those are like cowboys, what the? And then it slams into another thing, and a bunch of water spills down, and what you think might be like manta rays fly out, and then they sort of like sharpen their wings, and like spikes come out, and they're bats.
Some sort of aquatic bats?
I guess you could, but we don't have much time, so I'm just going to call them aquabats.
Yep.
Wait, what if we called them flubbers?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, who could ever call something flubber? God,
that's not even. I can't even. And they start like screeching into the rafters, and you fall into as the sparks of that special juice go off, flames erupt around you, and pulling from the outside view as you're dropped down into this hole of darkness, of course, the building sort of like poltergeist style collapses in on itself and then explodes outwards. But all of you are secured from it because you're shunted down these tubes and land in cushy seats, each in your individual pods, and panels in front of you light up, and you realize that their display heading comes on, and you are in your own Ron Vots.
Ron Vots?
Ron Vots!
Our own non-licensed mech suits. Let's go!
Yes!
Okay.
As the table itself was disguised, and because you can't display all your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you like have a mech suit like table. You're like, this is cool, and you put glass over it, and then you're like, well, I want to do some miniature stuff. And you're like, well, what if I just change this a little bit? But eventually it's covered up with projects, and y'all are in control of a 6 foot tall, which is gigantic and huge for you, mech terrain suit. And there is like creatures being released all around you, and there's this massive explosion, and it blew out one of the walls, and you see these tubes where your bodies are like floating, like rows, like dozens of people have been captured by Stinky Greg over the years. You hadn't realized because you're like, oh, things are just like changing and adventurers are just retiring. No, they're being Stinky Greg.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And you see the villain himself, beautiful, luxuriant, olfactorily potent Greg. with his little crystal up, standing next to one of the pods, doing a TikTok.
It's like someone playing Subway Surfers, and he's like, all right, it's your boy Stinky Greg here. Yo, I'm here to show off another like dope collection. I just got in. All it did was cost me, some transmogrification bullshit, but I got, check this out. I got some various adventurers, and I got a banjo juice.
Banjo juice.
Banjo sauce, I mean.
Banjo sauce. Because Banjo sauce is also there. While you were all doing this to the house, he was just like, all right, well, this seems like fun. I'm not really, not really my thing. It seems like property damage. Whoa, a trap door. And he also is in his own thing.
He's the mascot character, in every mech anime.
Yeah.
No, but when Stinky Greg gets what really realizes that he called banjo sauce banjo juice, he's like, fuck. And then he like deletes the clip and tries to re-record it again.
And then at that point, like the wall had exploded out, and he looks over and sees y'all had stood up from the table. So he sees like this terrain of like rivers and like creepy woods, like front facing him. And he's not a big man. He's a little guy.
We have assembled into a mech, a robot of some sort. Excellent. Very good. Very good.
No, this is my plan. What are you talking? I mean, I don't. Oh shit! I'm not recording. Hey, this is Sticky Greg live streaming with my ultimate doom.
Shit, penis. Now you can't monetize the video, Greg.
Suicide.
God, this is why I captured you. You're not cool. You just gotta chill out, man.
Unalive.
And he forgot to duet it with some kinetic sand cutting videos.
Yeah. I was gonna pour some molten aluminum into some Orbeez later. Fuck.
Well, unfortunately, I am going to need my body back. I have science to do.
Well, I have science to do too. It's called kicking your ass. And he presses a couple of buttons and opens up an app on his phone. And like a plasma sword shoots out of it. And it's like one of the purple ones. He's like, but you don't even know what I did to this. I had to defeat. And he just goes off. Just talking. Just talking so much.
All right.
It's all clout.
So we defeat him, and then we find our cure, and we head home for the day, yes?
Yes.
What? That's not a guarantee. I'll kick all your ass. I'm Stinky Greg, a name I chose.
I can make it so that I don't have an ass anymore, Gregory.
Yeah, and I'll kick where your ass was. And he comes at you.
I would like to use my kiddo uses.
Sure, but he's going to get to do a thing first. Well, he's going to try.
We did taunt him a bit.
Yeah.
By mostly ignoring him.
Yeah. He got a 20. So I think let's see, just roll a 1, 2. Which one of you is second? Which one of y'all friends is second? God, there's too many tabs.
That's Dust.
What? Dust? No.
We're talking on the character sheet.
I am second on the sheet. That's true. Yeah.
I think he takes his plasma blade, to say it as if it's dubbed over, takes his plasma blade and it jams it through where you are. What? Are you an arm, a leg, or a head?
I figure right leg.
Yeah. So completely disables it. Like it's got the sparking, like you get all hazy and the camera shakes and you fling to one side, then you fling to the other side. So he just hacks at the right leg. Irv, you had a plan?
Yeah, so he's got a sword. I'm going to use my kit of uses and pull out my pin. And like in the mech suit, the mech suit is holding the pin.
Because it's a magic mech suit. It adapts to whoever has it.
Yes.
So are you one of the arms?
Yes, I am one of the arms. And so like it pulls out an equally large pin, and I am going to activate my green fist on this pin, so it is going to be able to cancel out any sword attacks.
Sure.
Because the pen, you know the pen?
Yes, the pen.
Mightier than the sword.
And
I have the skill power of the pen.
You do. But you got a nat 20 on your dragon bladder before, which meant you spent a lot of the bladder's energy. So I think right now you have the pen.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'll respect it.
Once you roll me for that.
What am I rolling?
What do you think it would be, bud?
I think it would be ingenuity. I'm being very ingenious right now.
Yeah. Is it a thing you do often? Rely on the pen over?
I mean, I come up with creative solutions to things as a writer.
I like it. Yeah, and it's using one of your skills, so you get double advantage anyway. Double advantage? Sure, why not? Whoa.
All right, there is a 14, a 2, and a 12. So 14 is the
A
highest.
14 is the highest. I think what you do is this sword like almost completely cut off your leg. So nat 20 is pretty powerful and almost incapacitates Dust, but you manage to knock one success off of his 20 and you get his sword wet and his phone like brings up an alert and the sword flickers and like you can't charge your phone. It's got water in the port. So he like reels back. He's like, no, my weakness,
My phone.
my phone. So you have revealed that his weakness is his phone and freed Dust from his inevitable doom.
Mhm.
Jack and Birdie.
Jack is going to get his enchanted machete because it's enchanted by the mythical demigod Trejo. He is going to do some sword shit of his own.
Yeah.
He's going to say, I don't need pegs to swing this hard. And then just wham, right into Stinky Pete's leg.
All right. Give me a body roll.
All right.
I love saying that.
All right. 5. 3. Both of my rolls were shit.
Okay.
5 was my highest. I know.
So, blessed by Trejo, though it is, you go to swing at him, and he pulls from his back a, like, what other nerd shit nonsense would he have? Oh, he moves his hand, and, like, guns appear from null space. But it's not, it's like a mini blunderbuss gun, and it just ching! And he blocks your machete. You're just holding there, and he throws it up. Was one of them 5 though?
One of them was a 5. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a complete like terrible thing, but it is just like a classic feeling. You chop the machete down, and he hits it with his blunderbuss, and just like flings it over, and it lands into the ground and gets stuck for a moment. But you can pull it out. That is your move.
Okay.
Dr. Birdie.
Dr. Birdie, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that everybody else is kind of taking the limbs of this mech.
Yeah, so Jack, that would have been I put Irv as the left arm, so
I'd be the right arm.
yeah, Jack is the right arm. So we have the left leg or the head.
I think Dr. Birdie will take the head.
Okay.
And so that leaves our good
Banjo
companion.
Sauce is
Banjo Sauce is the other leg.
yeah.
He has always supported us through everything. I think he deserves the position.
He's very reliable.
Yeah.
He's incredibly reliable, as you would like your legs to be.
Yeah. Sturdy like a rock.
Sturdy like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Birdie will attempt to use this mech itself, kind of picking and poking at some of the buttons to figure out what cool things can this do.
Sure. It can do anything. What do you want it to do?
I want lasers. I want laser eyes.
You want laser eyes?
I want laser eyes.
You got laser eyes. And I think, yeah, that's what are you thinking about as you activate the laser eyes?
Well, as an observer and somebody who watches the others as they have performed, as they have done their actions, and has seen that the phone is truly his weakness. We need that thing gone.
Yeah.
If we can truly destroy it, perhaps we could push him into a sad monologue of some sort and distract him for a time.
All right. So why don't you give me ingenuity as you work on the fly? But using information you have. So
that is a 17.
Woo! Wow. So not only do you use your laser eyes to flash. So you use your laser eyes to flash a QR code into the camera of this phone, and it begins to spits and like spark off like no modern phone would do. I mean crystal, of course. And it begins to broadcast. And since our phones are always listening, it shows Stinky Greg just like the bad upwards angle of his face as he's like really sweaty, like trying to dodge this machete. And like his phone's like he's got the weird filter that makes him look all like puffy in the face. So no longer his beautiful TikTok face.
It does nothing flattering for him, truly.
No. It like zooms in over and over again on like a piece of macaroni on his shirt.
It's weirdly focused on like the stain of macaroni on his shirt, but you know what?
Yeah, and he's a well put together guy, but like
that's a rather large stain. It's all the way down his front. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's distracting, is what it is.
It's distracting. It's distracting him, and it's broadcasting his flaws to all of his followers as he gets his butt kicked. When last they knew he was gonna kick the butt, but it turns out the opposite way happened.
Surprise.
Yeah. And Dust Tumblepod, and in your sparking, incredibly damaged mech tube. You can try to fix it. You could do something else. You can eject. You can what would you want to do?
I would like to try to activate a rocket kick that flies with such force that I detach the leg.
Sure, because you're rolling with disadvantage because he got a nat 20 on attack.
Yeah. Hey.
So a rocket leg to disconnect that would fling you at him.
Yeah.
Because
I'm in there.
You're in there. It's not a Power Rangers thing where like you're all in a room together. You're still in your individual limbs.
Because it's a Ronvort or whatever.
Yeah, it's a
Trondon.
Trondon.
Ron Zertner.
Pteranodon. It's
a Pteranodon.
It's a dinosaur actually. It's a dinosaur themed one.
That one's on the floor.
On the floor. That's the lowest you can roll.
Goodness.
Ba-da-ba-da-da-ba.
Well, that's still a 14 with disadvantage.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, I think like you guys have been through some shit again. You've done so many adventures, and the Sticky Greg has hired you, but it's never been weird about stuff. There's always been something like he doesn't get this rich without hurting someone because there are no ethical billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism is their true enemy. And what do you say as you go to push the button to detach and fling yourself body and leg towards Stinky Greg? He slams his crystal over again, trying to get it to change apps.
Better have her fucking money.
And that echoes out as a leg like just lifts up like at a right angle and shoots. There's like sparking, and it shoots across and like pulls wires out and slams into him and knocks him back over his desk. And he hits his head on a big thing of salsa that spills on him. And there's a minor explosion. It's theatrical, but you're still very small. So it's like a firecracker going off as the leg cracks open and you're like almost passed out in the control pod. But then you like open one eye.
It worked? Did it work?
Yep.
It worked.
Badger Sauce is like, well, gosh, I'm glad I didn't have to do anything because I felt like my opportunity would have been next. But man, I feel like just standing here very, very still and supportive is the best I got because you know what? It's a friend you choose. Oh, you just tear up a little.
just a little bit of tear up. And thank you for your service, Banjo Sauce. You've done wonderful. Now, if you could please start hopping on over to the control panel, I think we could probably use this to our advantage.
Absolutely, and he does, and you do, and you manage to through a small set of button pressing and crystal twisting and rune reassigning. Free yourselves from these tiny, tiny forms of plastic and mysterious glucose syrups. And you find yourselves back in your real bodies. Stinky Greg is apprehended by the clock broadcasting authorities for streaming going against the terms of service.
Yes.
And you find many, many treasures within his house that unfortunately you can't have, but you know they're there.
If only we were cops, we could seize whatever we wanted.
Yeah, and it does that thing where like you come in and like a bunch of like guards come in, they're like, oh, we were just off screen, we were about to get him, or like it cuts to that and like one of you has a blanket over your shoulders. And Banjo Sauce is comes up to you and is like, wow guys, I haven't known you for that long, but I just want to thank you for your you're doing your best. You're just some right upstanding folks. And I have a confession to make. I'm not actually Banjo Sauce. That is not my real name.
Oh, really?
No, my real name is Dr. Banjo Sauce, as I'm a preeminent spy of this here city's massive Healers Guild, and I've been working undercover for the last several months.
Oh, fuck. Says Dr. Birdie in character.
That's right, Dr. Birdie. I knew who you were the whole time, and I knew your history. But I think because of your incredible ingenuity and your staying cool under pressure, we might be able to revisit your licensing. He like looks askance, like mishap.
Oh, you know.
Previous. We both know what it is.
Both know exactly what it is. We don't have to mention anybody.
Don't have to mention
skeletons or anything like that.
Whoever might be, I don't know, incorporeal around us. Like looks around. I want to thank you. And Jack?
Yeah.
We found in the wreckage something you might be interested in too. And he holds up an orb. It looks like a bop it, but it's like metal with crystals on it, and there's like a spinning orb with like a cloud in it.
Okay.
This might be the last piece of what you need. He hands it over.
He takes it, nods at it very solemnly. Says, thank you, Banjo. Puts a hand on his shoulder and maybe someday you'll make sheriff. And then pats him on the shoulder, and then the crew starts to walk out.
Yeah. Oh, but he also, like you start to walk out, like, oh, I still have gifts. It's like a Wizard of Oz situation. Dust Tumblepod, for you who are so grievously injured, I have this. And he hands you a scroll, and on it is the contract for the cleanup of the house and the sorting of materials for the court cases. Yeah. And he gives you a little, it would be a wink, but he's got like big stone crystal eyes that are glowing. So one of them just shuts off briefly and turns back on.
I'm never going to turn down a government contract. Much appreciated. Your accent once again finds itself infectious.
That is a curse set on me by a witch I was rude to as a child. And as for you, Irv, there's not much I can do for you, except congratulate you on your new, well, very strange weaponry situation. And I'm wondering if there might be some sort of way we can utilize that to perhaps apply medicines in the field. And I'd be interested in talking to you about that. And I know the money might not be there right away, but you'd be a great help to your community.
We'll see what happens.
Well, that's about what I expected, honestly. Now you can do your walkout thing. I'll turn around.
We all walk off into the sunset dramatically.
I think it's like the violin swells of.
And it's got a crane shot that like pulls back while like the trucks.
And it pulls back. And then, like, as it go, and as like we kind of see our heroes walking off, and like it cuts up to a bright sunny day because it probably took all the time, and then cut to black. You hear ba 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 because we're action figures, and that was the music video.
Yeah.
They were puppets,
different here.
though.
As it turns out, we were actually just Muppets the whole time. Welcome. This was Muppet Pirate Island.
No, Irresistible by Fall Out Boy plays because they were action figures in that one.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's our game. Our adventurers live to find some more treasures later. They are paid by the government and or Healers Guild and or their own good deeds.
I guess the real treasure
was the treasure you found.
Was in fact the treasure we found.
Yeah.
Banjo sauce. Banjo sauce was a real treasure.
Banjo sauce was truly a treasure.
Dr. Banjo sauce.
Banjo sauce.
Dr. Banjo sauce.
Dr. Banjo sauce. Fantastic character find of year 2023.
20 from. All right. That is our game. Thank you for playing. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful life. And if it's not wonderful, at least I hope you make it through. Because sometimes you gotta just eat like a grilled cheese sandwich and think, this is pretty good still. I love you all.
Love you too. Also,
Love you.
Next episode is the final RPG Pals Club.
The final episode. Da 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 da
Da,
da
da,
da
da,
da
da, 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 da.
Super Tarantata.
da.
You've been listening to RPG Pals Club. I'm Luke, your game master. You can find this podcast at rpgpals.club or on our Twitter, which is RPG Pals Club. We hope that you have enjoyed this return to Waterdeep Dragon Heist as we are getting close to the end of Gary's vision. It's only taken us 56 episodes? No, 57. Yeah, 56 or so episodes to get to the big finale.
10 days and 56 episodes.
Yeah. So look forward to what is coming up in the future.
I'm curious to whatever it is.
More guns. We all get a gun.
It's just Shadowrun now.
Campaign 2, we get guns.
Even Barry.
Bow, bow! I have plans and thoughts.
All right.
Yeah. So look forward to that. Leave us reviews. You know the whole spiel. It means a lot. Also, like, if you enjoy the podcast, let us know on Twitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I, Luke, your game master, can be found on Twitter at Koltreg. That's KOLTREG. I have a bunch of podcasts that are wrapped up, but also like the Exiled Annual is coming up soon. I did a Fallout Columbus set podcast where it sounds like that is also going to get a new Game Plus style sequel to it. And follow me on Twitter at @ColdTrag and check out all the shit that I do.
I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at Frunding_Loom. It's FROONDING_LOOM. And that's all I got to plug.
I'm Madison. I've been playing Koyos. And you can find me on Twitter at QuipsterRikuru, Rikuru spelled RIKURU. And pretty much everything I do will be linked through there. So, it's a hub of sorts. Have fun.
I've been Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard. You can find me on my website, rhythmbastard.rocks. Rock so hard I had to put it in the URL. You can also support me monthly by going to my Patreon at patreon.com/rhythmbastard. I record new music, I record covers, and hopefully a visual novel that's going to act as sort of a prequel to this little campaign we've been doing. You can also support me by going to my Bandcamp page at rhythmbastard.bandcamp.com or on my Threadless store at shop.rhythmbastard.rocks.
I'm Gina Dazer. I'm on Twitter occasionally at adaser, ADASER. I'm working on some pretty big projects right now, but mostly in the physical space. Look forward to those in the future. And just take care of yourselves, show care for yourselves and others, and have some cocoa. 'Tis the season.
Hi, I'm Sahoni. You can find me on Twitter at Sahoni_stuff. That's SAHONI_stuff, where you can see me talk about my other podcast, Barking Points Memo, which is a semi-weekly current events comedy podcast where we look at the news and scream, but in a funny way. You can also find links to my shop, bramblewolfgames.itch.io, because my game is finally launched. That's right. You can go get Exceptionals, a game about community, activism, and kinetic I-beams right now. It's been selling pretty well. I'm currently working on a setting book for it with some extra protocols for more character options, which you can support the development of on my Patreon, which is Bramblewolf Games on Patreon. I have community copies if you are a marginalized person or a poor person for whom the $15 would be too much of a burden for. And you can even sponsor extra community copies through tips and support on my Patreon.
And that kind of wraps things up. Thank you. Welcome back to the entire party being together. Thank you again to Jen Overstreet for stepping in on the previous arc. And keep an eye out. Keep healthy. Keep safe. Keep happy as much as possible. And thank you for listening. Catch you on the flip mode.
Bye.
Bye.